Sanjit. Hi, everyone. It's very nice to meet you today. Just a little an extension in the introduction. What we are doing today is art therapy. It will be an interactive session. But since we are a lot of people, 96, okay. I would recommend that please be active on the chat. Okay, so it will be a little conversational, but I understand that not everyone can just turn their audio and video on. Let's start. So let's start with a very simple question. Can everyone just tell me one thing that you like about yourself, or something that you like? Can be a movie, can be a song, something that you liked today, something that you liked in the week, something that you enjoyed. Let's start with that. Let's start noticing a moment of awesome ice cream dance, wonderful coding, love creating collab, fantastic dogs, traveling, Taylor Swift, awesome, morning cup of chai, trekking. I love that I'm passionate about new things. This is amazing. Music, cycling, Ariana Grande, fanfic movies, family and gardening, making friends, traveling, a lot of travel related, exploring new places and spending time with my loved ones. Loved watching Squid Games. Wow, Sakshi, wonderful. You like your name, Tarang, awesome sunrise. Okay. You guys can keep going. I know you love yourself. Amazing. Love this. Wonderful start to the session. I always like doing this because it just starts on a very positive note, to think of something that we like, to think of something that we like within ourselves or in the world. Slowly, let's move on to exploring certain emotions. Okay. So the session will revolve around understanding ourselves and exploring ourselves in different states of being. The activity is called 100 Seconds Emotions. I believe Sanjit, I asked Sanjit to, I believe everyone has some sticky notes or papers with them. Just let me know if you do. Can send me a thumbs up. Okay, brilliant. Okay. So the activity is, we will explore 10 different states of being. Okay. So it can be emotions, it can be just intrigue, it can be anything. And you will get 100 seconds to explore each one of them. And how do you explore? I would recommend using poetry or art or music to do this. Okay. So on your paper, even if you have some songs that you have in mind, whenever, for example, if I say love, right? There is some song that came to you, or some movie that came to you, or a person that came to you. You have 100 seconds, just go for it. And allow this to be a more simpler channeling, instead of, oh, let me write this down because this makes sense. Let whatever comes to you, let it come. There need not be any filter. Nobody is going to ask you. This is just for you. That's your personal thing. If you don't want to share, you don't have to share, but let it reveal something to you instead of you choosing what you want to draw or bring. All right, so let's start. Everybody's ready with the papers? Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so the first emotion that we are exploring is happiness. Go for it. So for happiness, draw, write, poetry, any music, whatever comes to you for happiness, go for it. All right, Next emotion is sadness. So we are done with happiness. Next, we'll move on to sadness. Words, drawings, whatever is coming to you, let it come. All right. Slowly moving on to calmness. 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 All right. Next emotion is anger. Anger. So we've done happiness, sadness, calmness, anger. Okay, after anger, we have drama. After anger, it's drama. 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 So we've done happiness, sadness, calmness, anger, drama. next is security. So after drama, you have security. Security. After drama is security. Security. Right. Just repeating what we're doing before we move on to the next emotion. For the ones who've joined in, we're exploring different emotions and I'm naming them. Just keep sticky notes or some small sheet of paper so that you don't have to worry about making a huge piece of art. You can write, you can draw, you can make poetry, whatever makes sense to you. I would recommend making poetry or thinking of some songs or drawing. And we are already halfway through, so it's okay. You can start, you can do the second half. We are at security right now. Okay, so when you hear this word security, what comes to you? And in a minute, just try to quickly draw, write a poetry around it, or whatever comes to you. Let it come to you instead of you choosing something. So it's almost like your head and your arms are connected instead of you thinking too much. Okay, so I'll give 1 extra minute for security for the ones who joined now, and then we'll slowly move to the next one. So we'll move on to the next one. It's validation. So the ones who have come now, I would recommend, exploring some of the simpler emotions for now. So happiness, sadness, calmness. Don't have to worry about validation. Yes, so after security, we have validation. Yeah, sticky notes are generally just small. So if you don't need, and if you can cut papers into smaller pieces, that's also chill. Whatever works for you, just something small, not something huge, not A4 size sheets for each art. Okay, so we are at validation right now. While the others catch up, you guys can go back to some of your emotions as well. If you feel you're done with validation, if you want to add something. Ones who have joined now, the first half of the words that we had were happiness, sadness, calmness, anger, drama, security, and validation until now. So you can choose and explore, and we'll wait for a little while. In the meanwhile, you guys can go back and add certain elements that you want to on the other ones. validation, let's move on to the next one, which is humor. 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 Sure, sorry. I will reduce the sound a little. Yeah. So after validation, we have humor. All right. Slowly after humor, once you're done, the next word is anxiety. The next emotion is anxiety. Anxiety, yes. So, anyone who's joined late, we are exploring emotions. I'm naming them, and all you need to do is draw something or whatever is coming to you. Draw something, a poetry or song, whatever is coming to you, just on the paper. We are almost done. So, what you can do is you can choose any five. I will write them down. Instead of 10, just choose any five emotions that you would like to explore. Now, finally, we will explore healthy. The last state of being, state of emotion is healthy. So the ones who are done, you guys can go back to certain emotions that you want to add to, you want to look at, make sense of, whatever you want to do. People who have joined in late, I believe you have access to the emotions we've done before. So you can choose any 5 and explore them a little more. You can write, you can draw. But how does one correlate music tones to emotions? So I believe we have some connections, may not be, again, it's never 100%, but some of us do have certain songs we associate with anger, say, right? When we were angry or felt anxious, we listen to something, or calmness, we associate those music to our some artists or some movie, right? So any art that you connect with, if you don't, it's perfectly all right. Maybe you connect emotions with people more or something else more. Look into that. Whatever comes to you is perfectly all right. So we'll take 3 more minutes. We will take 3 more minutes, and anyone who wants to go back can go back. Anyone who wants to explore the rest of the emotions because they were late, you are welcome to do so. I'll repeat all the emotions that we explored: happiness, sadness, calmness, anger, drama, security, validation, humor, anxiety, and healthy. Sure, I'll turn down the music volume. So, couple more minutes. Explore what's come up for you. So, everybody who's done, put all your artwork in front of you, all 10 in front of you, and see if there is any pattern that emerges. All right, so maybe in subject matter, say a lot of trees, nature is coming up, or maybe some family members, some people are coming up, excuse me, or say in colors or in abstract form, excuse me, so sorry, or even in poetry, if some emotions were easier for you to explore and some were harder, some maybe surprised you, okay, why did this come up for you? So just explore these questions. I'm going to write these questions down. So number 1, is there a pattern? So the music being played need not be happy, calm, or any specific emotion for me. It's subjective perception. Absolutely, yeah. I'll turn down the music volume. Sorry about that. So number 1 question is, number 1 question is there a pattern? Subject matter, shape, color, anything. Okay, so this is the first question I would like you to explore. When you've drawn this out, did something, do most of them or more of them have something in common? Second question, which was the easiest emotion to explore and why? Or which was the hardest? Again, why? As soon as you get the answers, start typing them in your chat if you're comfortable, of course. If there is a pattern that's emerged for you, what are the songs that came up for, say, for example, happiness? If a song came up, if you'd like to share. So openness, outdoors, and family. I'm sorry. So nature, so pattern, nature. Hardest was drama because I don't do much drama. Wonderful. That's great to know. And the final question is, did something surprise you? Pattern chose to go with simple one word and smiley. Hardest was validation. Easy to explore was calm, had a very clear picture. Patterns for Sanjay was nature and emoticons. I think a lot of people relied on emoticons and nature. Hardest was humor. I'm surprised about this. Pattern, family and relationships. Movement and force of lines. Oh, wonderful. Easiest was anxiety. I get anxious fairly often, unfortunately. Most difficult was validation. Easiest was security, and it was surprising. Hardest, drama, anxiety, easy, sadness, hard to explore the as it is related to family. Easiest, anger, difficult, validation, music and family for Karan. Easy, hardest was security and validation. Easiest was happiness and calmness. Easiest was humor. Okay. Difficult was humor. Humor, there are so much possibilities, didn't get a clarity on what it is. Okay. Surprising, healthy, patterns, characters. Okay. So I think nature, characters, people, easy. I thank you for answering these questions. Now just take a moment. All right. What we'll do is we'll take a little breather. We'll close our eyes. Just follow me. You guys can stop typing for a minute and just follow me for a second. What we'll do is we'll observe our body. Okay, we explored so many emotions. I'm sure none of us feel these many emotions in such a short period of time, right? Basically, within 15 to 20 minutes, we explored immense amounts of emotions at the same time, right? And I just want you to observe your body. How does your body respond to this? How does your body feel when it went to so many places and so many memories and so many emotions? Take a moment and tell me how you feel. How does your body feel? Rigid? Mm-hmm. Relaxed, like it is all out there, exhausted, blank. Relaxed, happy, blank, relaxed, aware, in control, cool, felt stuck, blank, clueless, getting to go through every emotion, felt good, that I need to explore a lot, tired. It felt like I was standing in an open field, emotional and confused. Okay. Tied up, blank and confused. All right. Now, whatever you're feeling, whether it's confusion, whether it's blankness, whether it's tired, we'll close our eyes again and observe where you feel it. Where in your body do you feel it? Okay. And we'll do a little breather. So follow me. Okay. So we'll take deep breaths in with our nose and out with our mouth. All right. So let's do this. Let me know when you're ready. So whenever you're ready, we'll start breathing. 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you exhale, let a sound come out. Let something genuinely be released out of your body. That exhaustion that you're feeling, that confusion that you're feeling. Find where it is and breathe into that part. So for example, I am feeling a little stiff here because I've been sitting this way, I've been talking to you, I've been interacting with you and exploring these emotions myself, right? So I will allow my body to feel this and then express and release. All right, so let's take deep breaths. Let's take the second one. 3, 2, 1. All right, stretch whatever feels comfortable. If you want to massage yourself a little bit, any parts that need a little more love than the others, give it that, right? Just take care and listen to your body. What we just did is actually very significant, right? Some of you were confused, some of you felt relaxed, right? What happened is we actually looked at all of those emotions. No emotion is bad or good, and we tend to divide them in that way, right? Sometimes, oh, I'm not feeling good or I'm feeling bad. No emotions are good, no emotions are bad. There are times when we feel them in response to certain events. It can be an external event or an internal event. What we did is we accepted all of them. We gave each of them the same time. We gave each of them the same attention. And that's something very important that we need to learn. Something that we do is, oh, if I'm not happy, I'm not okay. That narrative needs to be changed because it's not possible for us to be happy all the time. In fact, if we are, that is a psychological disorder. That's mania. It's not healthy to be happy all the time. So we really need to accept that we go through all of this. If we are human, we will go through all of these emotions and accept them and feel them at the same time. So emotions are essentially, it's a neurobiological state. So there are hormones and neurotransmitters that cause emotions, and feelings are conscious choice, like consciously experiencing them, right? And sometimes we have certain emotions that come and go. We don't choose to feel them. Where do they go, right? It stays in our body. This is a conscious choice to feel the emotions, whether it's drama or whether it's happiness, whether it's security or it's anxiety. All of them deserve our place. Okay. Now, even if you're still feeling a little confused or whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling happy, you're feeling relaxed, take 5 minutes. So it's 2:39, say 2:40, still 2:45. Freely write, for example, I feel confused because. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes, freely associate, freely journal, And when I say free association, it means that grammar does not matter, sequence does not matter, how you write does not matter. It can be bullet journaling as well. So, for example, you're thinking of a tree, and from the tree, you're thinking of some childhood memory of climbing a tree. You can go wherever you want to go. Okay, so for the next 5 minutes, stay with the emotion that you're feeling and explore that, whether it's relaxation, it's curiosity, or it's feeling emotional, feeling tied up, wherever you are, explore that. Okay, so 5 minutes, we'll focus on doing this. Let me know if the music is too loud. I usually most of the time feel it on my solar plexus, like tingles. First I thought I'm nervous, but many times there is no reason to be nervous. You know what? The physiological symptoms of anxiety and excitement are exactly the same. So maybe you are not nervous, maybe you are excited. They have the exact same physical symptoms, and it genuinely depends on our perception of the event, how we label it. On that note, how do we tune our brains to perceive anxiety as excitement? Um, Essentially, it's relabeling. So if it's not happening, it's a practice. So actually telling yourself, okay, these are my symptoms. This is what I'm experiencing right now. I choose to feel it as excitement. And the moment we relabel, even if it's conscious, right, even if it's not something that's coming uh, internally, even when we say, uh, okay, I am excited about this, I think I'm excited about this, that in itself changes the consequences of the event, right? For example, I'm getting on stage, I have to sing, and me and the other person have the same skill set, same everything, background, da, 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 all of that training. If I choose to feel anxious and they choose to feel excitement, even though the physical symptoms are exactly the same, they are more likely to do better, right? So it is a conscious thing, and you kind of have to keep practicing. um okay, so but to such extent that it induces headache, to such extent that you, so for example, if you have a lot of headache, excitement can also cause headaches. I would recommend going to see a professional to understand the deep rooted issue. uh, it can be a psychiatrist, a psychologist, whatever makes sense to you. I get confused because there are a lot of questions which I do know, I don't have answers to, but in finding those answers, I get to a part where there is no coming back. But again, dwelling in past keeps making things not so easy. That's true. Thank you for sharing that, Parag. All right, one more minute. How to be true to oneself. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is actually, honestly, taking time out for yourself every single day to listen to yourself, to listen to your bodies. Our bodies are communicating with us all the time, all the time. And our emotions actually take shape in in the form of body aches, pain, or excitement, whatever that may be, right? So listening to yourself, and and then and then making a choice. Understand that making a choice is you as well, but if it's an informed choice, it's always better. It's a mess. Send help. Pranit, if you're joking, hilarious. If you're not, you're welcome to reach out whenever you need something, for sure. Okay. True to oneself, I think, Ajay, I kind of answered. It's honestly self-awareness. You cannot be true to yourself if you don't know yourself. And we have to spend time. It's spending time with your own self, your thoughts, your feelings, and slowly, it takes practice. I'm not gonna lie, it does take practice, because we are with, honestly, like, the external world is so stimulating with social media and whatnot, our phones and everything. We are always getting pulled, right, towards, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, instead taking a moment to understand, where do I want to go, how do I want to feel, and making those choices. uh, when I meditate and sleep, I think I hallucinate. Is it my thinking of your, sorry, so it's actually very common. Meditation does cause hallucination after a little point. I would like to know if the hallucination is happening when you open your eyes as well. If that's the case, I would recommend, again, going to a professional and just getting that advice, getting that understanding. But if you're but otherwise, just when our eyes are closed and we meditate for a long time, yes, hallucination is a very common, like blasts of imagery is a common thing. What should one do to channelize anger? So what we call it is sublimation. So for angers, anger has such a bad reputation. I feel anger is such an important emotion. It's that emotion that does not allow anyone to break our values and systems, and tries to protect us. It tells us, okay, you deserve respect, you deserve kindness, you deserve that, right? And generally, that's when we get angry, when somebody is being disrespectful, or not understanding our value systems, or our morality and all of that. Now, first thing to do is understand, why are you angry, like, what got broken, what dissonance got caused, and then realizing what to do about it, right? So if you're feeling it in your body, there are many. So number one, of course, is sports. That sports was created to um, sort of sublimate our aggression. So sports is one. Making art, getting your body involved, even dancing, just getting that out, making art, writing poetry, all of that can help. Even talking to someone can help. So first, understand why you're angry. Where in your body are you angry? Use all these techniques to for actually, when we realize why we're angry, we kind of um, resolve that also on to quite an extent, right? Okay, acha, this is what's happening. Can I do something about it? Is it within my control? So okay, let me also talk about what control circles are. So there is um, circle of control, circle of concern, and then there is a circle of influence in the middle. So things we can control are our thoughts, actions, what we eat, etc. Things we can just react to or concern are like politics and what people are doing beyond, so weather, climate, etc. And there's a beach ka area, which is where we can influence things. So understanding where in your anger, like, where does your anger lie in terms of your control as well, where, and if it's within your control circle, you can focus on it and get resolved. If it's somewhere else, talk about it, see what you can influence, etc. So first, figuring out what's causing you anger is important. The feeling within, it's the to do or not to do, to be or not to be. Pranit, I would recommend talking to someone. I think that would be very helpful for you. How to not take our loved ones for granted. That's a very tricky one. So, first of all, I think this is very nice that you're at least asking, right? At least checking that, okay, I guess I'm taking them for granted. So number one, I really think there needs to be a separation of, okay, this is me and this is the other person. A certain level of, okay, this is where my area of control is, right? Like we discussed, and the other person is an area of influence. I can talk to my partner to do something, but it's not necessary for them to do it. um, so being grateful, I think, maintaining certain gratitude journaling for them, like being grateful for their presence in your life, what they do for you, how you interact with them, uh, how your life has changed because of them. These are certain things. When we actually practice gratitude, we end up not taking them for granted, because we understand the huge value they have in our lives. uh, how to come out of the grief of loved ones. Grief is such a tricky thing, right? Number one, time. It's time. It's genuinely taking your time with it, not rushing it, not judging yourself for feeling the way you do. I think feeling guilty and judging when you are grieving, why am I not able to get out of it? It's been 2 months or 3 months, whatever it's been. It's important to know that you're that's valid. It's important to know that what you're feeling is 100% valid. And slowly take your time with it, process what you're feeling. Sometimes it will be a little hard also, right? Like sometimes certain emotions are, you don't even have the strength to grieve, and it takes a little time, but honestly, allow yourself that time. I think that's the main thing, Srividya, that you have to give yourself time to feel what you feel. um, Certain techniques that you can use are journaling to understand what you're feeling. And when you journal, when it gets overwhelming, understanding that, okay, after this I can get indulge in an activity that can make me calm as well. So having that duality, the polarity, to help you through this time. Talk to people. Honestly, the best thing uh, that happens with grief, that helps with grief, is having people around who can understand you, who can empathize with you, who can be with you in this journey. um okay, no, just when I'm asleep, half asleep type. Half asleep. Okay, so I believe what's happening is lucid dreaming or sleep paralysis. Are you able to move your body then? Can you just let me know if there is some sleep paralysis? If there is sleep paralysis, that maybe because of anxiety, there might be anxiety behind it. I agree with you. How do we set boundaries if words don't work? Anger is important to show discontent. Yes, and anger is so important. I mean, all the movements, all the social movements come out of anger, come out of rage, that we won't be treated the way we obviously. So how do we start? If, for example, if somebody something that's very common, I'm just giving a very common example. um, Someone keeps calling you every day and you don't necessarily have the time and space to attend with them. So keep telling them, if that does not work out, stop answering the call, send them a text, so that it's nice. And also explain. I think something that we forget, that when somebody is trying to set a boundary with us, we feel that, oh, they don't want us in their lives, but it's actually the opposite. When we're setting a boundary, it means we want you in our lives. We don't want to completely harm our relationship to the point that I cannot stand you at all. So express this, that if I'm setting a boundary, it's to keep you in my life, and this is how I can keep you in my life. How to deal with extreme self-criticism. Tarang, honestly, gratitude, that's such a magical thing when we practice gratitude and being grateful for who you are, what you do with your body, being grateful for what your body does every single day, right? 5 things that you're grateful for that you have done. And changing affirmations, changing the way you talk. So notice, okay, I'm criticizing myself. Can I say this? Can I actually solve the problem without being mean? This is something we do with others, right? Like, okay, I have a motive, especially in work. At work, we do talk to others. Okay, I want to, my motive is to solve this problem. How do I solve this problem is how I go at it. So if, for example, I'm not, okay, I'm not working, I'm not being productive, right? And I keep telling myself, you're such a lazy ass, you do this, you don't do that. What will that do to me? That will only exhaust me, right? So okay, let me be nicer. So what are the times when I have done the work? Positively reinforce that emotion, positively reinforce that action, and slowly move towards more positive self-talk than negative self-talk. How to improve dopamine levels naturally. Do things that make you happy. Just like you, I like to help everyone in any possible way. Still, steps after steps and reaction on action, sometimes you lose the track as you just get indulged in making others feel good, but you are still finding how to be happy and help your own self by looking into the help you provided to others. Yes. This is so important. And I mean, this is such a significant thing. And I'll be very honest, I'll be very blunt. I only help people when I am okay. And I used to overextend myself. I'm not gonna lie, I used to overextend myself earlier. That okay, like, because I would genuinely believe that, oh, if I don't help them, they will think badly of me or they won't like me. But honestly speaking, after a lot of practices of boundaries and understanding myself and being able to communicate, I think that's something that I worked on, that to be able to send that message nicely, that hey, genuinely I'm not in that space, to understand that I am allowed to not be happy and cheerful and okay and active and helpful at all given points of time. We are not saviors, we are not heroes. We need our own time. So putting, like we hear in airplanes, right, like put your oxygen mask first, then the others. So always uh, genuinely take care of yourself, understand what's your limit, what's your boundary, and then build it. And it takes time, I understand it's not very easy, but it's not impossible. It's genuinely not impossible. So keep trying. Done with the writing. I'm not able to focus much due to some level of social media addiction that is frustrating me. How to deal with this? Oh man, social media addiction, if it's genuinely serious, I don't have a very quick fix here. But a little detox, for example, 4-hour detox every day, or 2-hour detox every day, weekly detox. Look into all of those aspects. And if it's not working, Ganesh, I again talk to someone about this, please. Do you have some gratitude trumps? Something very simple is just writing 5 things down. That's it. I feel thankful for, and just writing 5 things down. How to deal with regret. We didn't cover it, but I feel it hampers dealing with the present. Any thoughts on how to make amends? Since we are running out of time, Runal, I have made a post on this, how to forgive ourselves. Is it okay if I just share my Insta ID here and you guys can check that out, if that's all right? So my Insta ID is Shatarupa01. You can check that. Okay, So since we're out of time, thank you so much. Thank you for interacting with me. Thank you for all your questions. I hope I was able to help you. Sanjit, over to you.